Hey out there, welcome back. I'm at a house in North Middletown. I looked on the MLS this morning and this house came back out onto the market and it was reduced by $10,000. Sometimes certain things catch my eye, and a reduction in price coming back out onto the market, that catches my eye. And the reason why is because something happened as far as the buyer putting an offer in and then backing out. So what that indicates to me is that the seller got a dose of reality, let's say. They had a price that they had in mind. Someone came out, they were going to buy it. They probably found some problems at the house and they backed out of the deal. And as a result, the seller reduced it by $10,000. That means, and it's not a definite, but that means that the seller might be willing to negotiate on price. This house is listed for $289 now. It was $299. A couple of years ago, I wouldn't have even looked at a house in a flood zone for close to $300,000. However, when in Rome, is that what they say? So this is supposed to be 4 bedrooms, 1.5 baths. I'm going to take you for a quick inside tour, and then I'll show you the outside, and I'll show you initially what I thought about doing to this house. And I got to talk to Tommy about whether or not it's feasible. So this was probably a porch years ago, and they enclosed it. Nice size area. The floors are dippy a little bit, but not that big of a deal. Love the paneling. Somehow in the 70s, the paneling was a good idea. You walk in, and there's like a nice size family room here. Now, I'm not sure if they're using this as a bedroom or more living area. I've said this before in some videos. I love getting inside houses. It's almost like I'm a voyeur. And I never mock how somebody else lived, but sometimes I'll see a house cut up and I'll be like, how did they put up with that for all those years? And then I remember the house I grew up in, 1 bathroom with 5 people, and you do what you have to do. So anyway, that's that other room. So you're walking in, this is like a living area, and I imagine they were using this as a living area as well. I mean, ultimately, depending on structural, that wall could come down. Could you incorporate that front porch and this room? Holy cow. Open living concept. It would be beautiful. You're coming down to the only full bath. So it's a little bit of a not perfect situation. This is the full bath that leads into the kitchen. And I mean, the kitchen is small. And you gotta love that backsplash, right? Like, one of the benefits of being a homeowner is you could do whatever you want, and they like that backsplash. You have a nice walk-in pantry, and I'm imagining that's where, like, breakfast nook, dining room table might fit in there. And then you got another room over here. Washer and dryer went over there. I don't know about the refrigerator being outside the kitchen. Anyway, this is the first floor. Let me show you what's in here. This is another bedroom. And if you remember what the brown house floors look like after sanding and staining, these floors would look beautiful. So you walk through this little room. I don't know what they were using this room for. Maybe the dining room. I don't know. Maybe another bedroom. And then you're going upstairs. Now, this is why it caught my eye. Because the upstairs has 2 bedrooms and a half a bath. Wait till you see a half a bath. You see this right here? Like, I'm really not that tall. And I could hit my head, so that could be a problem. This is, I don't know what this room is, but they have a sink over here, and then you go into the bedroom, and then you got the toilet over here. It's always interesting to me how people have a setup. But like I said, I'm not mocking them. I mean, this worked for them. They put down new carpet, they put paint on most of the walls. And you can see how the ceiling goes down over there. Now, before we go outside, I told you the reasons why this house caught my eye and why I'm inside the house, and what a benefit being a realtor, being able to come into a house by myself and not have somebody here with me. I love it. So what caught my eye on this was the price, the reduction in the price back out on the market. But also what caught my eye was there's a small dormer on this house in the front, and there's no dormer in the back. So if this ever came to fruition where I put an offer in, before I did, I would have to talk to Tom about the dormers on these on this roof to pop that ceiling up, make it real living area up there, put a real bathroom up there, So more living space, more square feet. Add a full bath up there. You know, use as much of the existing plumbing as I can. Open these walls up a little bit around here on the first floor. There's no entrance inside the house to get to the crawl space. You have to go outside and pull a piece of plywood off the side and then crawl under there. And I'm not into it right now. The price and everything else doesn't indicate that this is something that would be something that I'd be putting an offer in on. And if I did, I'd have to get it much lower than this. So I'm not gonna dedicate the energy to get underneath, but let me show you the outside. This is the front of the house. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but I love detached garages. Like, depending on the rent I'd get at this house, could I keep that 2-car garage for my own storage? Who knows? So, depending on the situation, I'd probably put new siding on. I saw in the seller's disclosure, they just put a new roof on, so it's like brand new. This is the back of the house, and this is what I would want to ask Tom about. Could we put a full dormer up there or add a level, depending on the cost? Would that be cost effective? Now, I saw a couple things that grabbed my attention. Like, I'm not a person that looks for problems to talk myself out of buying something. This is just like a little add-on back here, like a utility garage shed thing. But so they put a skim coat over the foundation. It has the older block. This house is like 90 years old. The thing that was concerning to me a little bit, like not so concerning that I'm going to be jumping up and down and making a special TV production about it, but the skim coat's coming off, right? Not that big of a deal. But then when I come over here, I see the bulging over here. And the bulging to me indicates that, I mean, I'd have to get down into the crawl space to see what's going on. But the bulging could mean some structural issues, which, I mean, might not be that big of a deal to fix. But if I want to put a dormer on the top and add some more weight to this house, I'm wondering if an engineer or the town's going to have a problem with that. So anyway, some things to look out for. I'll run it by Tom, see what he has to say. At $290, it's not really feasible. I'd have to get it for lower than that. Plus, it's in a flood zone. It doesn't have to be lifted according to the agent, but the flood zone makes it so you have to have a flood policy on it, which is about $1,100 a year. So you got to take that into consideration. All right, let's see what happens.